Welcome to Wine Vault TV, New Zealand's most passionate wine programme, and today we've got Justin Brown with us. And I've met Justin, I've spoken to Justin kind of like through Twitter and everything like that, and looked at his profile and discovered he was an author. So do you just want to tell the audience a bit more about yourself and what you've been doing?
I love wine. That's really why I'm here, because I love wine. And what do I do? I heard the other day that I sort of come up with ideas that have a social or commercial value. And I thought that's probably sums up what I do pretty well. Like I write books, I do a little bit of radio, do a little bit of TV, used to do some stand-up comedy, so I'm all over the
hard,
place.
Isn't it? Stand-up comedy is probably the hardest job, I think.
One of the hardest things I ever did, mate, was opening for Engelbert Humperdinck at the Michael Fowler Centre in Wellington. There was no one in the audience under 106 years old.
And you're doing comedy?
Yeah, and I was singing songs like Kentucky Fried Kitten and all my songs. And
so you're a musician as well?
Do a little bit of music, yeah.
Is it kind of like a solo Flight the Conchords?
Not that good.
Okay.
No, not that good.
Okay, but to get a gig like Humperdinck is probably...
Yeah, well, I was supposed to do Wellington, Auckland and Christchurch, and Wellington went so badly. I said, you know the Auckland gig and the Christchurch gig, I think we'll just leave. And the guy in Auckland got booed off stage, so I thought to myself, well, that was one of the best calls of my career.
Wow.
Yeah. And
you've written some books as well?
Yeah, that's, I've done a few books. That's Kiwi Speak. That's basically how New Zealanders talk in the pub, at the horse races, at school. There's lots of wine stuff in here actually about the old Bernardino and Spumante, all that sort of stuff that my mum used to drink in the casks, is it?
Yeah.
And I used to love those casks because you could blow the bag up and kick it around like a football.
Yeah, yeah. And the next one?
This is Bowling Through India. This is my latest book. Me and 4 other guys went through India. We were the Black Craps, which is pretty much how the Black Caps are playing at the moment. Yeah, and we just basically hit the ground running. We went to Calcutta, Darjeeling, Varanasi, all over the place, turned up on the street and just played cricket with street kids.
What inspired you to go to India?
I'd been there 10 years before, and I knew that these guys loved playing cricket so much, and I thought I want to go back there with some mates and just take a bat and ball and play these guys. And they were so good. These guys were amazing. We were just absolute shit. Right, okay. So most of them beat us. But I mean, as you can see in this, there's bricks for stumps. This is in a cemetery in Varanasi. It's crazy.
It's all about improvisation anyway, but that's when you get your most fun. Like spontaneous, kind of. I presume that you don't organise these games in advance.
No. You couldn't organise anything in India. You turn up and see what happens.
Right, okay.
The problem in India with cricket is starting a game and ending a game because there's 2,000 kids around you within about 3 minutes. And they all want to bat and bowl and take your head off. And none of them want to play for New Zealand, they all want to play for India. And so starting...
Well, it's pretty much their national sport, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Soccer's quite popular now in India.
Really?
Especially down towards Calcutta in the east, but
okay.
Cricket is still king, yeah.
And you've got obviously a natural passion for India. If you've been there twice.
Yeah, I just love it. It's so crazy. I mean, every single minute you'll see something stupidly crazy. That it's not Italy, but I can go to Italy when I'm 70. You go to India you know, well...
Italy's beautiful.
Yeah, no, but you're not going to see dead dogs in the Ganges or...
Fortunately.
So maybe I'll go to Italy before 70. You know, you need your wits about you when you go to India.
Right, okay. And so you wrote the book?
Yes.
And someone else did the photography?
Yeah, Brendan O'Hagan did the photos. He's a great photographer. And then there were 5 guys. Me, there was a photographer, there was a businessman called John Bowden, there was a misfit from Tauranga who speaks Hindi, and then there was another...
Is that why you took him?
Yeah, okay. It's fantastic. And then there's Stu, he's the farmer from the South Island. So
quite a diverse group.
Yeah, it was hilarious. And we didn't really know each other before we left. That was quite...
How did you meet each other?
Well, I knew a few of them briefly for a couple of months, but I met Reese, who spoke Hindi, at the airport. I mean, I'd never met him before we'd got to the airport, so we're like, hey, how are we all going to get along here? And it was quite good in a place like India where you don't know each other. Because if you're old mates, you might have a few barneys, because it's such an extreme place, but because you don't know each other, you can say what you like, you know. You're really pissing me off, mate, aren't you? You know?
I've always struggled with India. I really like the kind of concept and the colour and everything like that, but I'm not sure whether I stand the poverty.
It is extreme, and you do have to, you know, on one hand you get told that it's all pimps and they all want to make money off of the poor kids on the streets.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you just know that this kid has had a really bad life and he probably needs 50 cents. But you know they're just going to not have the upbringing that we're so lucky to have. And we were touring there when it was Christmas in New Zealand, so we knew that back at home there'd be barbecues and lovely wine, backyard cricket, and in India just completely the opposite. But these guys have nothing, and yet they have, it's a cliche, but they don't need a lot to be happy. We need a lot more to be happy in Western.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But have you got a great passion for cricket anyway?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm rubbish at it, but I love it. Yeah.
So you've been, did you watch the Ashes?
Yeah, I love the Ashes.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
See, I really like Australian cricket. For me, even though I'm a Pom,
yeah,
I just love the way they kind of like, especially kind of like that kind of early 90s through to now.
Yeah.
The way I love the tenacity and kind of just the sheer kind of determination by all of the team to kind of win.
Well, Paul Collingwood actually sums it up for me for England. He's just like that gladiator who's not like a Pom team. He's not completely blessed with the way he plays, but he's like, no, screw you guys. I'm going to get a ton here. But I can't believe that Australian team actually lost to that England team, because I don't think that England team has much chop.
Yeah, neither do I.
But the Australian team must be even worse, So
I don't know. I think that they've ridden that kind of the crest of the wave for so long, kind of at the top of international cricket, that kind of eventually you're going to fall down the front of the wave, and I think that's where they are now before they come back on the next wave.
You know who I admire is Andrew Strauss, because I used to watch him here a year and a half ago when he was playing for, I think it was Northern Districts.
Yeah.
He could barely make it into the Northern District side, and then he's at Lords as the captain getting 100, and I'm like, good on you, mate.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, most of the bloody team are from South Africa. They've got
who cares?
We'll just get you anyway.
Most of the All Blacks are from Fiji, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. But we're here to taste the wine. What do you normally drink at home?
I love Pinot Noir. I say
fortunate.
Pinot Gris. I suppose I just like it because it's trendy and I don't know too much about wine. But can you tell me the main difference between a Sauvignon Blanc and a Chardonnay? Because I like a Chardonnay a lot more, I think, than a Sauvignon Blanc. Is a Sauvignon Blanc tartier as a rule?
Marlborough Savvy tends to have a lot of acid, a lot of astringency, a lot of kind of primary fruit, kind of, especially kind of gooseberry, although kind of, we use that term kind of loosely. Most people haven't even tried gooseberry.
Yeah, but I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
But it's a green fruit that's highly acidic, but has this kind of aroma, and also kind of like there's asparagus and cut grass, and you have those kind of green herbaceous kind of characters kind of. Chardonnay is a much more kind of versatile grape. You can either have it with oak,